Good evening, everybody. We got here a 1v1 arena matchup for you this evening, and let's get right into it and get into the players. We do have in the blue playing as the Byzantines, Project Belgium, and then his enemy in the red is going to be JonSlow playing as the Berbers. So JonSlow being one of the most well-known arena players in Age of Empires right now, and for the last many years. And then Project Belgium being a little bit more flexible, playing on more than just arena. But JonSlow really has made a name for himself playing in the arena matchups, which he's very, very high level at. Of course, with the arena games, we do expect a little bit of a slower start, unless there is some unorthodox moves with a tower drop on, say, the front of one of the bases that could change something, but for the most part, we see economics reign for the beginning part of these games. So players are going to be scouting around their little walled off areas, trying to spot where the deer are, the sheep, and where the resources are. And when we take a look at the map for Project Belgium, well, he does have forward stone, so of course a tower could cause some issues, but he's got nice back gold. This gold's not rangeable for anything. He's got one gold outside of his walls, but nothing too crazy by any means. And then JonSlow, on the other hand, well, he's got two sort of forward stones. This stone out of range from a tower, so that's nice. And then both of his golds are protected, and both players have their berries forward. And as we continue on in the Dark Age, the players will start to scout around. Of course, collecting up relics is something that's very important in these games. As we get into the Castle Age, we will likely see more and more of that. But as of now, just pushing in deer, scouting around a little bit, and trying to make the best out of what they have currently. Nothing out of the ordinary for either of them. When we take a look at JonSlow, he has fully looked at his base, and he knows that he wants to see exactly where the enemy is. So scouting around, this might be an auto scout, possibly, but just taking a look around, seeing what exactly the enemy has to offer, and seeing if there's any advantage that he might be able to spot out. Because, of course, if, for example, there were a little bit of a tower rush, it could cause some delays for Project Belgium, but it's not super likely. So that is something to know. When we take a look at the civilizations themselves, Byzantines pretty strong counters. That's their biggest advantage, is they are a defensive civilization, one of the few defensive civilizations in the game. And so Project Belgium playing as the Byzantines, he will want to use that to his advantage. We might see cataphracts, we might see some sort of trash unit, which would be scouts or skirmishers, stuff like that, but not quite as strong, I would say, as the Berbers, who have those very strong camels, very strong knights. So the reaction from Project Belgium for that strong cavalry will likely be pikemen, and then halberdiers as we continue on. But we'll have to wait and see, because these civilizations could go either way, and could easily bring a little bit of variation. Of course, Byzantines are a very strong civilization and could even look at going into a unique strategy, going for a faster imperial age or something along those lines. And both the players now have scouted around. If you can take a look at the line of sight for Project Belgium, he has scouted the entire map of the enemy. He doesn't see anything too crazy. He sees there's a forward gold, he sees there's a forward stone, and that should be enough for him for now. And same deal for JonSlow. He's seen the walls, he knows where the enemy is. He doesn't see this stone, so just missed that, but for the most part, they will be playing it fairly safe from what I can see. No fast feudals coming out for either of them. We do have Project Belgium clicked up already, and JonSlow also queued up, but a little bit later, JonSlow deciding to go for a couple more villagers, get that economy going just that much stronger so that he can jump right into the Castle Age as soon as he hits the next level. So I'm interested to see how that pays off, because really Project Belgium here in the blue is in a pretty good position when we're looking at fast castle times. He will be able to get into the next age fairly quickly anyway, so we'll see if those extra couple of villagers costing 50 seconds will pay off for JonSlow, as he's dropping a barracks on the front of his base. So a little bit of a different strategy for each of these players, both generally heading in the same direction, but not necessarily hitting it the same way. We do have about 500 food right now for Project Belgium, as he's going to be dropping his 2 buildings. He will definitely be able to do a fast castle out of this, but when we take a look at JonSlow, he's going to have just a little bit stronger of an economy when he hits the next stage, but it's going to be just that much later. So we'll see if there's any unique move done by Project Belgium, but right now we see a market going up here, a blacksmith going up in the back, so no real surprises. He will have the resources to hit up to the next age. That's 800 food, 200 gold, no problem. So Project Belgium is going to be in a good position, and JonSlow now, as he gets to the next point, gets to the next age, he's already got the resources to click up to Castle Age, so might have gone a little bit over the top with his decision, but we'll see. We'll see if it pays off, as he does have a stable and a blacksmith going down rather than a market. So different strategies these players have. We can see horse collar and double bit axe going in for JonSlow. Just horse collar for now, as the Castle Age has already been clicked up for Project Belgium. So JonSlow just that much slower to the next age. Again, bit of a unique choice for him to wait that little bit of extra time. We'll see if he wants to do anything with the advantage that he's got with his stronger economy right now, but not too sure if he will. And since we will be seeing likely some town centers get dropped in the back of Project Belgium's arena, could see some advantages. So Scout War right here, both of them testing their luck to see if they can get the scout to be the last standing, and JonSlow makes it so that his is the last standing. And so JonSlow able to continue to walk around. He's got a scout on the way, so he's going for scouts. Likely will be collecting up relics then if he's going to be making scouts. That is a big advantage, but spearmen are coming out in response for Project Belgium, so the scouts not quite as strong as they typically would be. As the next age has been hit, a monastery is immediately dropped for Project Belgium. So these relics are going to be very important, both these players recognizing that early, and a town center being dropped on this wood line to just add to the economy for now. So 20 seconds to go until JonSlow is in the next age, and he's going to want to get as much map control as possible, but it doesn't look like he has all that much. So he has hit the next age, immediately drops a monastery as well, 2 villagers building that, but he will be just that much slower to get up to that monk coming out. So JonSlow is at enough now for a second town center. We'll see if he decides to go for a second town center on this wood line in the back, or goes for a little bit more of an aggressive strategy instead. He's going for light cavalry to start off, and positioning his light cavalry in a good spot so that he can protect these relics as much as possible. He decides to put his town center on the gold in the back of his base. He wants to make sure that he can continue to collect up gold as quickly as possible, as the 3rd town center now being dropped by Project Belgium. And so we do have a monk coming forward here for Project Belgium. and the spearmen are going to protect the monk for now, but against light cavalry, that's a little bit of a hard engagement. Even with spearmen, they do counter, but not perfectly. So the spearmen going to have to be somewhat cautious, as there are quite a few light cavalry on the field, and more monks coming out as well. 3 of these spearmen could do quite a bit of damage against these light cavalry, especially because there's no upgrades yet. But what a great catch here, JonSlow. Good game sense to know Project Belgium's going to be sending out a monk, and immediately picks off that monk. Doesn't even take a hit in the meantime. So good play from him there, collecting in a relic at the same time as another monk starts to move forward. And the light cavalry deciding to engage against the spearmen, and as you can see, with the maneuverability of them, though they are countered, they're able to take out these spearmen pretty easily. Once these become pikemen, it's a little bit harder, but that's a big advantage right now, taking out the military and still protecting up these relics. As one relic is in, another monk is already out for JonSlow, and the 3rd town center is going up on the stone. And so we might even see a switch into camel archers. Camel archers being such a great unit, able to take out spearmen and maneuver around them. And JonSlow looks like he'll have to give up this first relic to the monks, because 2 spearmen and 2 monks is a little bit much for light cavalry. But no, he goes right in for it. Takes out the monk. He might lose a scout here. No, the scout makes it away. So good play on his part. Able to split and avoid, but the monk does get the relic at the end of the day. Overall, great payoff for JonSlow. He's lost a couple of light cavalry, but he's taken out 3 monks so far, as well as some spearmen. So great move on his part. He needs to collect up these last 2 relics so that he has the big advantage of gold income, but we'll see how that plays out. 4 light cavalry now. They're going to run in and attack for sure, but they don't see exactly where the monk is yet. They must know that the monk is going to be forward here somewhere, and just a glimpse, but not enough, as the spearmen are actually getting attacked by wolves now. Everything going in favor of JonSlow for now. Project Belgium, he does have the villager lead, so 58 villagers for him, only 54 for the enemy, as this is going to be a little bit of a dance to try to avoid spearmen while also taking out a monk. So if this monk can get a conversion of one of the spearmen, that will be a really big deal. But these light cavalry able to 2-hit the monks and take them out. As another monk comes forward, we will get a conversion of the spearmen. So 2 spearmen against 3, plus these light cavalry, that will be a big advantage. So he will definitely dive in, start with the attack. And JonSlow, though he is behind for villagers by 4, he does have the advantage when it comes to relics. So that will hold on for the remainder of the game. Both of these players are on 3 town centers, university getting built, and archery ranges starting to come out in response for Project Belgium. So archer split will be very nice, but of course, if you're playing against the Berbers, they can always go for cheap knights that will be able to take out quite a bit of the skirmishers or archers that are being created. Both players now that those relics have been collected and have gotten their advantages where possible, both players will start to work even more on their economy, get to that point where they can continuously make military and really get their advantage up and ahead, as a university will be up for both of the players now. And there you go, you see that faster imperial age for Project Belgium. With the imperial age coming in, lots and lots of opportunities can suddenly come out. So we might just see arbalests, and we already see archers coming out, as fletching is starting to come in, and this is good. JonSlow, using his monks to get line of sight, he sees that there are archery ranges coming up. He knows the possibility of the faster imperial age, and he clicks up himself and starts to get the first armor for his knights. At the same time, he is moving forward with a large group of villagers, and we'll see where he decides to place this castle, as he does have the stone for it, and if he places it right here, it negates the stone of the enemy. Good placement, just out of range for regular archers, so he is going to be safe for now, but now they are crossbows, so that does give 5+1 range. Bodkin arrow on the way in, ballistics on the way in. These villagers need to be protected because now you have 9 crossbows that will be able to engage against the villagers and will be able to range this castle. So that is going to be a pain point for sure, as the castle could go up, but we'll likely see lots of villagers fall in the meantime. Bit sloppy there with the blockage of the siege workshop, but seeing some conversions and seeing knights start to pour in, and we see the Imperial Age hits and the mass of crossbows that have been founded start to dissolve. As one conversion comes in, they're just going to try to take out as many villagers as possible. This castle will definitely go up. I'd love to see a little bit of a wall off here to make sure that nothing can sneak around, and there's not too much that Project Belgium can do about this castle. But of course, Project Belgium, one of the best in the game. He is getting chemistry, so we will see bombard cannons coming out of these siege workshops, as there is a mangonel battering down this gate. The monk falls on the side, so JonSlow will be getting cavalier and will need to get as many out as possible, as quickly as possible, because right away we're gonna start seeing big responses coming from Project Belgium. Belgium knows that the advantage of the Berbers is in their cavalry, so he is upgrading, he is getting pikemen, he is getting scale mail armor. He wants to make sure he has a formidable force to engage against the enemy, and he's building more barracks, but I don't think he has enough right now. There are 5 stables on the front making knights, and they will start to stream in very shortly, as they will be able to tank quite a lot of damage. Monk moving forward for now. Woloff's having to start behind here, and the crossbow is just not strong enough as of yet, as bombard cannons will be coming out, so these walls are going to be very important, these house walls, as the monastery will fall down eventually to the castle fire, but the most important thing for JonSlow is going to be these cavaliers and the bombard cannons. They can take out this castle, but the castle's not producing anything other than trebuchets. Bombard cannons now in response as well for JonSlow, so they will be able to engage. 1 bombard cannon falls for Project Belgium, but the siege workshop does as well. Right now we do have the cavalry walking in, trying to take out the bombard cannon as much as possible, because the bombard cannon is really the biggest threat to him. The bombard cannons can take out castles, they can take out siege workshops, so 2 go down. Bombard cannons, such an expensive unit, just such a difficult unit to be remaking. This small group of cavalier able to make it through the walls. Will it be able to take out the bombard cannon? I am not sure, as it is being repaired, and yes, the cavalier are denied taking out that bombard cannon, or walled in, so these 3 are as good as gone. But in the meantime, on the front of Project Belgium's base, he's getting attacked, but he's able to sneak out, start collecting on this side. I'm not sure if JonSlow was able to see that. The villagers did walk within the line of sight of the castle, but I don't think he knows that they're going to be collecting up stone. So really going to be important further on in the game. Once stone is collected enough for a castle, that could flip everything on its head. Because a castle right here with the protection of halberdiers would be a big deal. Lots of halberdiers now out, able to take out the bombard cannon of JonSlow, but fighting underneath castle fire, not a good thing, especially with camel archers behind the halberdiers will fall, and this will be the big engagement. Lots of bombard cannons in the back. We've got lots of halberdiers coming forward, and JonSlow choosing to run in, trying to engage, just able to do so much damage with these bombard cannons. They take out so much, but they're so expensive and so slow at the same time. Taking out the camels, and JonSlow still doesn't see these mining camps, so still unaware, but he will take out the bombard cannons here, and this is a big deal. This is 1,000 resources. That's 1,000 gold right there. No question about it, just gone. And so this castle that will be made from the stone on the right here will be a big deal. And in response, we do see a castle just in the back, enough to cover for JonSlow. And now Project Belgium expanding to this gold and this stone on the side, able to do so much with that and able to really turn the tides of battle if he can make that happen. We can't see, as JonSlow, we can't see any of this on the side, and so that is going to be disastrous if he allows that much gold to be taken by the enemy. That's 2,400 gold, and without that gold, Project Belgium was pretty close to out. He had no relic. He has 500 gold here, and how much here? About maybe 1,000. So 1,500 gold there. That wouldn't be able to produce many more of these bombard cannons, but the bombard cannons again full. So really, the gold is going to start to become king as JonSlow is losing gold units quite a bit, but he's taking out the gold units of the enemy as well. One thing to note, these halberdiers and these skirmishers only costing food and wood, so a big resource save on his part. Third castle is coming up right next to the other one, so we will have a little bit of a chokehold as this gold will be collected. Right now, not too much gold being collected by Project Belgium, but this town center over here still hasn't been spotted. I would love to see a camel archer loop around this way, but it looks like JonSlow is going to build a mining camp over here, and he will see the town center is already built. As a castle is coming up in the back, and a lot of halberdiers on the front, so the halberdiers will be able to do quite a bit of damage against all of the cavalry. They do have bonuses against both camel archers and cavalier, so they will be able to take them out, but of course camel archers able to hit and run and able to do quite a bit of damage in return. Still haven't seen anyone go forward for JonSlow to see that this town center's here. This is just free resources for Project Belgium, and resources that JonSlow needs to make sure that the enemy loses. So this is really exactly how you want to be playing the Byzantines. They're such a great defensive civilization, and that's exactly what Project Belgium has done. Is he's played defensively, he has sat back, and he has ensured that he is playing smartly and waiting for the enemy to attack before doing anything stupid and overreaching. Now we see a little bit of a castle war. It looks like JonSlow will win this castle war, but we see more villagers coming out to build this castle for Project Belgium. So big advantage there. Both players dancing a little bit with skirmishers, with trebuchets, trying to engage where possible, but this is going to be big because this is a lot of gold and a lot of stone sitting all in the same place. Villagers falling left and right. We could see a trebuchet coming out here for JonSlow, and JonSlow losing lots of villagers as well. Both players just ignoring this side right now, so that's a big deal as there's a push happening right now for JonSlow, and that is it. That is the game. Not too much that Project Belgium could do. He did a very good job sneaking out here, but he was going to be losing that castle now. Anyways, with these two castles, trebuchets could come out, and that would be taken down almost immediately. And then at his base, it was just too much. Just too much. Great game.